power. When you sleep well, you feel amazing, you feel motivated, you feel alive. And when you can't sleep, when you can't stay asleep, when you wake up multiple times a night, and when you wake up and you feel like you're struggling, guess what? No matter what you do, it's going to be worse. You find yourself not motivated to tackle the big challenges. You find yourself procrastinating and doing the simple stuff, the menial stuff, checking your email or checking your newsfeed. Instead of doing the really gritty, hard, but important work, you find yourself avoiding this. And that's what happens when you don't have quality sleep. That's what happens when you can't have the sleep to power your day. It's going to undermine everything you do. And that's why we say sleep is a high performer's superpower. When you have quality sleep, everything is going to improve. Whether it's making another $1 million, or whether it's just having better relationship with your family, with your friends, because you're alive, you're present, you listen well, because you're energized, right? Sleep is so important, but many of you are struggling to find out what's going on. You might have tried meditation. You might have tried yoga nidra, non-sleep deep rest from Andrew Huberman. You may have tried a bunch of stuff, valerian, melatonin, but then somehow you know that you're not optimized. There's something missing. When you watch this video, I'm going to show you why that is. Why is it that you're not having a complete sleep transformation? Right? I'm going to show you my 30-day sleep transformation plan. Now, if you have not met me before, my name is Stephen Koh, Executive Health Coach and founder of Executive Warrior Academy, where we help middle-aged, ambitious men reignite their energy and focus so they can become unstoppable at work and in life. This video, I'm going to cover a 30-day plan to transform your sleep. Everything you need to actually work on, and you can actually take the entire blueprint and take it and implement it yourself. Now, if you want help, right? If you want support, if you want to work with me in a group setting where we actually do this together as a bootcamp, drop me a line below. I have a 50% discount code I can send to you. I'm sharing my screen, and as you can see, this is a 30-day sleep transformation blueprint, right? It's part of my boot camp. One important thing that you need to acknowledge is that you are unique. You have unique genes, lifestyle, background, habits, beliefs, identity. You are different to me. And what that means is your missing piece for completing a sleep transformation is going to be different to someone else's. And this is the reason why a lot of people are not getting results. A lot of my clients might have tried meditation. Okay, but the thing is that is the missing piece for people who have stress issues and who happens to fit the personality because they like meditation. What if you hate it? What if you don't have the time to meditate an hour or 30 minutes a day, as they say you should? Then what? Right? That doesn't fit your puzzle. That piece may work for everyone, but it doesn't fit your puzzle. Can you see what I mean? You're different. And for some people, you might have multiple missing pieces. So you can address one piece, but guess what? There's still other holes in your puzzle, in your jigsaw puzzle. There's still other holes. So you address the stress being an issue, but then you have a methylation problem. You have a genetic defect that makes it harder for you to create some neurotransmitters. And that's giving you mood swings. It's making it difficult for you to produce melatonin. It's slowing your exercise recovery. And if you don't address that, you did meditation, guess what? You still have that missing piece. You haven't transformed your energy. You haven't transformed your focus. And that's why so many people struggle, because they're getting lost. They listen to random YouTube gurus dishing out their advice, but they don't have the system. They don't have a structure to approach their sleep transformation. And this is where I want to show you my structure. And this is something that you can potentially take forward and implement on your own. Now, for some of my clients, they transform their sleep in a single day, in a single session, in a single advice. But for some of them, they find that missing piece on day 30. Right? There's value in implementing everything because it's going to enhance everything else. But then the biggest breakthrough happens on day 30. What I'm trying to say is go through the program with faith, right? Go blueprint, because we're going to cover everything, all factors, not just one dimension. We're going to cover everything. So let me go through with you the plan, and you'll see what I mean. Now, before I start with my clients, I give them a logistic sheet. Now, okay, so I will actually share that with you. You can actually have a look. All right, so let me get into the plan. Okay, here, preparation. Now, there are supplements, there are food, there are sleep enhancing equipment, and there's stuff that you might want to purchase later on for the next level of sleep hacking. And this is, of course, subject to your budget. So I've taken some next level stuff as a separate list because we are not Tony Robbins, we are not all billionaires with a lot of money to kind of stash aside ready for, to spend on sleep hacking. So there are some things that I think will take it to a really high level, but they require additional investment. That's why I put them a little bit later. So in terms of supplements, this is the basic pantry shopping list, right? You want, sorry, not pantry, supplement list. So grass-fed collagen, multivitamin, D3, omega-3 in triglyceride form, and that's the best form of omega-3 you can get. Magnesium, L-theanine, creatine monohydrate, GlyNAC, apigenin, melatonin, 500 microgram, not milligram, okay? It's half of 1 milligram, right? It's very important. When you buy melatonin, you don't give yourself a super physiological dose, which is a lot higher than what your nature has intended, what your body normally produces. And then we've got myo-inositol, lion's mane extract. These are all the different, so that you can see what I'm talking about. This is the list, right? This is what I'm going through. These are all supplements that's going to help with sleep. The thing is, when you work on your sleep, it's not just about a pill to fix them all. You have to support your body's function. That's why you want to take a holistic approach. And that's what I do with my clients. So we go through the supplement to make sure they know exactly what brands to buy. They know exactly what dosage to use. There's a lot of, the supplemental industry, I have a love and hate relationship with them. A lot of the manufacturers are just unethical. They're in for the buck, right? For the money. They give you the cheapest possible ingredient, put it in fillers, and they don't put in quality control. So it's important that you know exactly which brand that you're buying, so you don't end up accidentally sabotaging your sleep or sabotaging your health. Now, once you have the supplements, and this is all preparation work, right? We want to make sure you stock with the pantry, with your pantry with ingredients and things of food that's going to support your sleep. Sleep is not just about things dedicated to sleep. It's also about what you eat. There's certain things that we eat or certain things that we want to avoid to help you get the best quality rest possible. So you wake up feeling rejuvenated, right? And here's in what I've put on the screen. Okay, these are basic stuff that you want to stock up your pantry with to support your sleep. The first week is about foundation. What happens in the first week? What are the key things you need to do with your first week of fixing your sleep? First, identify your chronotype. There's 4 primary types. There's the bear, there's the wolf, there's the lion, there's the dolphin, right? There's a 4 and based on your genetics, there are certain work and life schedule that's going to fit you better or worse. And that's important to keep that in mind. If you go through life without that information and you think you could be programmed like a wolf, which is what you typically consider a night owl, you sleep till 10, you get energized late in the afternoon, but you have energy all the way up till maybe 12, 1 a.m. and you think that's bad because someone tells you so. You think waking up at 5 a.m. is the way to go because that's what Navy SEALs do. You're working against your biology. So can you do it? Yeah, you can. You can do it. Is that optimal for health, for your performance? No, because you're working against how your body is designed. So knowing what your chronotype is going to help you identify what is the optimal rhythm for you to follow. There may be work constraints that you need to cater for, right? Maybe negotiation with your workplace on when you get up or when you arrive at the work and when you leave, maybe a bit of flexibility with a proviso that you're going to be a lot more productive. Okay, so that there may be some constraints around that, but knowing this information allow you to act on that. That's why the first day of sleep foundation setting, when we work together as a boot camp, is that we're going to do the quiz, identify the chronotype, and we're going to set a sleep schedule. So not one size fits all. Can you see the theme? Right? It's individualized. Second is you want some kind of qualitative and quantitative sleep measure. Now, if you have got iWatch or something like that, it's important to understand those numbers are indicative. If you got, and this is why we still have sleep lab. If iWatch is so accurate and so good, why do you need a sleep lab where they put all these things, measures on your head, right? The reason because these consumer devices are inferring the quality of the sleep. It's not an accurate quantitative measure. It's not absolute measure. So you may say you have 4 hours of deep sleep. If you go to a sleep study, most people, if you're age over 40, I'm close to 50 now, but you'll find that most people deep sleep, if they're lucky, maybe an hour and a half. If you're young in your 20s, you probably get 2 hours of deep sleep. So 4 hours, that's unheard of, right? And that's what I mean. Those watches like Garmin, iWatch, take it with a grain of salt. And when we work together, what we go through is it's about establishing a trend. Everything we do will have an impact, and we want to make sure that we don't have one day's information or data throw us out. Day 3, we talk about circadian rhythm programming using the sun, using darkness at night. And we combine that with breathwork. And that's a powerful combination. The sun sends signals to our brain, and it tells us when to get energized and when it sets off a clock on when to wind down. And when you program that appropriately and you combine that with breathwork, it's a synergistic effect. Now, breath work is the leverage of breath, and breath is able to control how your mind functions, right? Just in simple terms. That's why we covered that in the first week. And in day 4, we're going to cover the evening environment setup. So when the sun goes down, how should you set up your environment at home so that it's optimal for rest? And if you don't know that, if you're not aware of that, what's going to happen is you're sabotaging your body's your bio clock, right? Your body clock is going to be out of whack because you're sending the wrong signal. And of course, we're going to finish the first week of foundation setting with actual sleep exercises to eliminate stress. Stress is a big issue in the modern environment. We have so much pressure, and especially, I guess for us men, it's particularly challenging. Like our emotion, we can't really express a lot of emotions. Even at work, we have to be the one to be the calmest in the room. We have to put on that front, because if the boss is panicking, guess what everyone does? Everyone panics. So when we are afraid, when we have pressure, who do we actually say that to, right? We don't have a lot of outlet. And if you carry a lot of pressure on your shoulder, it's important that you learn how to manage. And that's why we're going to give you exercise to help you in the first week to actually take that stress out of your body, out of your mind. Week 2, it's all about sleeping well throughout the night. Week 1 sets out the foundation. Week 2, we're going to focus on quality of sleep. How do you avoid waking up to pee? I have clients who wake up to pee 2-3 times a night, every night. That is just a recipe for poor energy during the day. How do we fix that? And this is where we're going to give you specific actions to help address that issue. And of course, you can go and Google. There's a ton of remedies. Some of them work, some of them don't. And this is where, like when we work through a coaching program, we give you the stuff that work. That work. It's a little bit too much of a topic for me to cover in this video, but check out my other videos. I do talk about this. All these information is out there. I publish them. Okay, so I'm not hiding anything. It's just for the length of this video to go through a blueprint. I don't want to make it any longer than it needs to be. So look for ways to make sure that you act on this to avoid the waking up to pee. Sleep induction supplementation. The reality is in the world that we have, it's very polluted, it's very stressful. The food and the quality of food that we're getting is not anywhere near how it should be. It's factory farm, mass produced, highly processed, and chances are you have a vitamin deficiency and you don't even know it. So we need some supplements to help us make up the gap. Okay, so that's important. We go through some things like magnesium. We talk about glycine, collagen, L-tryptophan. These are the stuff that you want to look for to help you create a sleep induction stack to help you sleep throughout the night. And day 3, we cover about nose breathing. A lot of people were not taught, well, nobody is taught to breathe. We just take it for granted. Now, unless you're a yogi, you're a Tai Chi master, or you have some proper training, which is very few of you, most of us do not know how to breathe properly. Many of you are actually mouth breathers. You don't know it. If you have dry mouth, if you yawn a lot, if you get up multiple times a night, I bet you're a mouth breather. How do you actually learn to train your nose to breathe? And that's the thing you want to make sure when you sleep, transforming your sleep, when you're transforming your energy to uplift it, you need to learn how to use this thing properly. That's an important step. And we also cover sleep, breathing, snoring, and apnea, which we know, like in tons of studies, that this is going to undermine your ability to sleep properly. But what you may not know is that this is going to contribute later down the years to Alzheimer's, dementia, okay? Because your brain actually starts to flush at night and it needs a lot of oxygen. And when you have apnea, guess what? You don't have much oxygen. Okay, I'll leave that there because that's I could go on and on about the science. And you know, I'm a bit of a nerd. I love to talk about glymphatic system, glial cells, and brain flushing, brain waves. But no, just know that it's really important that you breathe well at night, and how you sleep in terms of the positioning is important. And we will also cover some foundational non-sleep related, well, typically people don't consider these sleep-related supplementation, but we need this as a foundation. You need certain nutrient as a given. You have essential fatty acid, you have essential protein that you must have. And then if you're lacking this, you're trying to put a sleep supplement, it's only going to work a little bit. It won't make a transformation for you. Cover the bases. Make sure it's like insurance policy. Cover the bases. Then you add that on top, everything will change. Week 3, we start to optimize. We start to look at ways to manage your thought. And for a lot of entrepreneurs, corporate warriors, this is particularly relevant. Day 1, we're going to focus on fasting before bed. This is going to make this, for many people, this is the biggest impact. This is going to make the biggest impact to the quality of your sleep, especially deep sleep, which is happening within your first cycle of your sleep cycle. Right? Stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, stage 4 typically happen in the first part of your night. And that only is quality if you fast 4 hours before bed. The problem for a lot of people is, what if I get hungry? What if I have cravings? And this is where you want a strategy to help you overcome. And that's what we're going to cover in the first part of week 3. How you achieve this 4-hour fasting period before bed. How do you do that without going hungry, without having the cravings? And how do you manage that so that you can go to bed feeling good rather than feeling, I wish I had some food, right? That's not going to help with sleep. Second day, we will focus on metabolic hack. A majority of our population have too much sugar and carbohydrate as a given. And that's a given, okay? And that's going to create problems with your metabolism. It means your body do not know how to burn fat for energy effectively. You have insulin resistance, you have inflammation, and that's not going to help you sleep. Now, to address that more fundamentally, you need to fix your diet. We cover that in a executive diet transformation program, which is a separate program. But what do you do in the meantime? There's a metabolic hack you could do. Involving raw honey, salt, apple cider vinegar. These are things that are going to help support you before you do the more fundamental longer term change. That's what we cover. EMF, it's a big factor. Minimization and introducing grounding is for a lot of people, especially if you're sensitive. Now, a third of our population is hypersensitive to radio waves. You might think it's a little bit woo-woo. If you think like that, and you have trouble with sleep, what I recommend is to suspend that, put that aside, and try some of the techniques. Okay, these are free, they're easy, cheap, and affordable. The benefit is huge. It could mean a change to your fundamental performance. It could mean that you're going to transform your business, your relationship. The downside is you waste your money on a mat. Risk reward, right? Don't let your cynicism get in the way of your transformation. You can try it and then say it doesn't work, and that's okay. But if you let your cynicism to stop you from even trying, that's going to undermine your ability to achieve. And that isn't just about health, that's in everything in life. Okay, so day 3 is all about EMF elimination. We'll go through how you actually do this. And day 4, we talk about intrusive thoughts. It could be thoughts about work, argument that you had with someone, customer complaints, unreasonable, annoying customers that bothers you, and your mind is racing. Think about it. How do you manage that? You want a strategy to manage that. And fifth one is all about taking that to the next level. We call it heart coherence. There's breath work that you can do and diffusion technique you can use to help melt away those thoughts and gain back your composure so that you can have a good quality sleep. And that's what week 3 is all about. And the fourth week, we start to talk about the next level of biohacking, right? Biohacking optimization is using the science and technology to help you achieve your goal, whatever that may be. In this case, it's quality sleep, it's energy and focus in the morning. Body temperature is a big factor in sleep. So much so, you can literally buy a temperature control mattress that minute by minute control the temperature of the bed to optimize your sleep. So science is strong there. Learning to use that to control your sleep, and there are techniques, right? This is what we're going to cover in week 4. We'll actually do this together. Second day, we'll talk about journaling and binaural beats. That's again a mental aspect to help you program your brain for rest. You know your brain have different waves, wave frequencies and amplitude and length. And depending on the mode that you want your brain to be in, certain modes are better for certain things. All right? Focus, you want beta. For rest and meditation, alpha. And for sleep, theta. Right? Knowing that, you can use binaural beats to control that, and you can use journaling to calm you down. So we're going to cover that strategy. And that's important for stress management, that we need a supportive approach to help us not just get it out of our body, but get it out of our mind and our soul. Technology use, love it or hate it, it's fact of life. And this is something that we all need to use on a regular basis. But how do you manage it, right? So I'm just showing on the screen. Managing technology in the evening. Often I work once my kids has gone to bed. I've got work to do. How do I stop it from interrupting my sleep? Because if you're not careful, it will. Advanced biohacking supplementation is we're taking the supplements to the next level. There are some things that will fine-tune your metabolism, your biology to give you that next level quality. Certain things, the lion's mane inositol has literally doubled my deep sleep. And for others, it's double, like for especially lion's mane, it's especially for REM sleep. Okay, that's one thing you want to focus on. Once you get the basics out of the way, then you layer on these on top, because you've got the foundation supplement, you've got the easy to access sleep supplements for sleep, and then you're optimizing, right? You add that, you start building a pyramid, the most stable structure that you can build, right? That's what we want. And lastly, you can, if you're ambitious and you want to get away with less sleep, this is for you, biphasic sleep. Now, you can do polyphasic sleep. I don't recommend it, but biphasic sleep is really, really very cool. And it's actually how we used to sleep before industrialization, right? Pre-industrialization, majority of the population actually sleep this way, and just happens to reduce the quantity of sleep you need, but still help you achieve your goal. You can actually work longer, and it's actually fairly sustainable. So the 4-week program, as you can see, right, there's quite a bit involved. And the reason why we do this together is, if you do things on your own, is sometimes you have questions, you struggle with implementation, or maybe you just get busy. And for ambitious men, that's a real problem. We're too busy doing the business, looking after our family, looking after everyone else. And what we sacrifice is who? You. We sacrifice ourselves. And guess what's carrying it all together? We do. Right? Like a car, if you don't service, you don't maintain it, it's going to fall apart, it's going to break down, and everything falls apart like a house of cards. And that's important. When you have a group, when you have accountability, when you have a coach to work with you, that's going to create a completely different experience compared to just reading a book, doing nothing, or trying on your own. I hope you can see that when you do it as a group together with challenges, with accountability, it's going to be a lot easier for you. I hope you find this useful. It's a 30-day transformation plan, day by day, of what it is. Now, I wasn't going to offer this because this is my program, right? But if you want, I can send you this plan. You can actually try and implement it on your own. Like I've given you everything that you need to consider to transform your sleep. The only thing that I can't give you is the experience, which can only be done, by working with a group, working with a coach. Doesn't have to be me. You can join any other program that offers this similar structure. But this is what I recommend for everyone to get the most out of the sleep so they can conquer the day, reignite their energy and focus, as I said. Now, if you find everything I've talked about interesting and you want to participate in the bootcamp, you want to be part of my tribe, you want to go through the experience, you want my support, drop me a line below. I've got a 50% discount code that I can send you. Just a little bit of incentive, right? Because you're interested enough to watch the entire video, interested enough to take action. So I know you're an action taker and I want to reward that. That's why I have the 50% discount code for you if you're one of those people who are open-minded enough and growth-minded enough to want to take action and want to participate. And for that, you get a 50% discount. All right, guys, I hope you find this useful. And